Greetings, scholars, parents, educators. Hello, I'm John Baylor. This month, hey, as we begin summer, let's talk about community colleges. Community colleges can be so helpful in a young person's life as they mature into an adult, in part because in a world where you have artificial intelligence and inexpensive foreign labor, we want skills and knowledge that are not easily automated, not easily outsourced. So we think, and the statistics bear this out, that you're at a disadvantage if you merely have a high school diploma. Maybe if you're my generation, you were fine, but today, AI, inexpensive foreign labor, automation, outsourcing, we want skills and knowledge that a 2 or a 4-year degree can give us. So a 2-year degree can be a great ticket to improve life chances. But we want to make sure everyone knows what a 2-year college entails. Let's get started. These 2-year associate's degrees offer fabulous vocational training, welding, diesel mechanics, culinary arts. Some of this stuff, you start at $50,000 a year. And some of these programs, it's like 2 full days a week for 2 years, and you've got the certificate. So a 2-year degree can be a ticket to great job security and great skills. They often typically cost less, on average about 50%, one half of what a single year tuition at a public 4-year university costs. So 1 year at a community college, about half the tuition cost of 1 year at a public. They occasionally can be free tuition. And in fact, there are 7 states that after you fill out your FAFSA and after you qualify for whatever state and federal aid you might qualify for, they're going to fill in all the other tuition dollars, last dollar scholarships. So effectively, the tuition is free in these 7 states: Tennessee, Oregon, Minnesota, Maryland, Kentucky, Louisiana, Georgia. Tennessee, Oregon, Maryland, Minnesota, Kentucky, Louisiana, Georgia. And there are more and more municipalities and more foundations are getting involved so that more and more financially eligible students can go to a 2-year community college effectively tuition free. They also bolster your readiness for a 4-year college. About 80%, I was surprised when I found this number too, about 80% of 2-year college students intend on going to a 4-year. In other words, they go to a 2-year to take care of 2 years of college credits, and they go to a 4-year, presumably as a 3rd-year student, with 2 to go. So it's 2 plus 2. And in 4 years, they get their degree. But the first 2 are at a community college. They get their associate's degree, and it's cheaper. Here's the caveat. About 13%, 1 out of 8 community college students get their 2-year associate's degree on time. 1 out of 8. So 7 out of 8 don't. Of the 1 out of 8 that do, more than 70% of them graduate from a 4-year college on time. Within 6 years, actually. So for those 2-year college students, remember 80% of them intend on going to a 4-year, who get done with the 2-year degree in 2 years on time, then immediately go to the 4-year. Like 3/4 of them take care of the 4-year degree within 6 years. Fabulous, okay? But if they don't get done on time with the associate's degree, the 7 of the 8 that don't get done in time, the likelihood of them ever following through, even getting to the 4-year college, not to mention getting the 4-year degree, plummets off a cliff. So the key, here's key number 1, graduate on time. Whether you're going to go get the 4-year degree or whether you're just going to take your associates and go into the job market. Get a degree on how to run a power station, an ethanol plant. These jobs start at like $60,000 a year. It's a 2-year degree. Get it done on time, no matter what your future plans are, because the sooner you get the degree, the sooner you start earning more dough. They create stronger future earnings, and the 2-year degree can ease the transition into college and adulthood. Those 2-year degrees give you all sorts of skills that are extremely helpful once you get to be an adult. They put you at a dramatic advantage over most of your peers who merely have high school diplomas. Something to consider. A 4-year value college might be similarly affordable. This is what I find so frustrating. In my opinion, way too many students just assume they cannot afford a 4-year and just by default go to the local 2-year. Well, after you apply to the right 7, 8, 9, 10 4-year colleges, if you intend on being a 4-year college graduate, you then discover that in fact the 2-year is the most feasible. In fact, the only college that does fit the budget of the family, then yes, go to the 2-year. But way too many just assume that's the case. They never aggressively attack the college admissions process. They don't apply to what we suggest, at least 7 4-year colleges, the right ones, the value colleges, the ones that offer great educations at affordable costs to then discover whether in fact they can afford any of them. So apply to the right colleges to make sure you fit the family's budget. We say graduate with minimal debt. Graduate with a 2 or 4 year degree with minimal debt. So you're right, you got to keep money in mind. Don't just go shopping at the Lexus lot. Just don't go look at the Lamborghinis. I mean, we got to make sure we get the right college at the right price. And for example, it doesn't matter where you live in the United States. You can go to Chadron or Peru State College in Nebraska for about the cost of a 2-year college, everything included. You get a 22 on your ACT, the 4-year degree at a Peru or Chadron is going to be cheaper than a 2-year college. You get a 26 on your ACT, it's dramatically cheaper, typically, okay? Everything included. So there are lots of 4-year colleges. If you aggressively attack them, apply to multiple colleges, put up good scores, put up good grades, they're going to be comparably affordable as a 2-year college with a dramatically different experience. So a 4-year value college might be similarly affordable. The 2-year college is less social, less engagement typically. It can be a little bit like a part-time job. Kids show up, they get their classes, they leave. That's very different from a 24/7 4-year residential college experience, of course. There are fewer majors, academic programs often. The college brand might be less impressive. If you go to a 4-year college, those schools typically are better known. They might, not certainly always, they might be a little more impressive, offer a little more cachet when you're looking for jobs. But primarily the college brand, in my opinion, is most important when you're searching for that entry-level job. With the exception of like 10 schools, Air Force, Navy, West Point, Harvard, Yale, Penn, Dartmouth, Brown, Stanford, Berkeley, Virginia, McGill, Chicago, Williams, Amherst. All right, there are a few more. Exception of about 20 schools, it's just about the entry-level job. I mean, that's really where the name on the diploma typically will help you. Beyond that, it's what can you do for me? What are your skills? What was your last job? And then transfer students may be less comfortable after arriving at a 4-year college. Obviously, socially and for so many reasons, politically, if you can be at the single institution for all 4 years, you're going to be better off. For example, in college, I worked at the radio station. If I had transferred into college as a junior, I never would have gotten, to do play-by-play sports, or getting the right weekly time slots for being a DJ. I mean, stuff is a little political, right? You want to get in the theater. You show up as a junior, much less likely. Whereas if you start as a freshman, you got the idea. So ideally, you don't transfer when you're in college. Now, what we should know, this is a top 10. Avoid remedial classes. Most community colleges require minimum math and English ACT and SAT scores to avoid remedial classes. Remedial classes are bad news. Avoid them. And there are multiple studies on this, but anywhere from 42 to 52% of community college kids take remedial classes. And the minute you take one remedial class, your likelihood of graduating on time is less than 10%, and your likelihood of ever getting that 2-year associate's degree is less than 25%. Avoid remedial classes. These are high school do-over classes. You're paying money now. You're getting no college credit. You should not need remediation. Remedial classes cost money, earn no college credit. Number 3, high dropout rates from community colleges are often due to a lack of math skills and lack of study skills. What is the 2-year on-time community college graduation rate? 13%. What's the 3-year community college graduation rate? 22%. What's the 4-year? 28%. Got it? Kids are not showing up with study skills, they're not showing up with math skills, and they're not showing up with the approach, the focus, the graduate on time intensity that we need. You need to be tenacious when you go to a 2-year college. You got to get that degree on time and join the vast minority who do so. Not all community college credits are accepted by all 4-year colleges, especially if you're leaving your home state to attend a 4-year college. Typically, only local 4-year colleges will take that community college's college credits. You got to make sure, talking to your advisor at the community college, that you know exactly what courses to take and make sure you don't lose any college credit. One reason that so many students struggle in getting that 4-year degree within anywhere close to on time after they start at community college is they don't get full credit for all the community college courses they took. In fact, one study shows that 43% of community college credits are not accepted at the 4-year college that the associate's degree holder transfers to. Many community college credits have specific agreements with nearby four-year colleges. Verify the credits before you take the courses. And most four-year universities have few transfer scholarships. Just something to know. You're going to probably be paying close to full price once you get there. As far as merit is concerned, there might be some need-based aid you would qualify for. That's the FAFSA need-based aid. Number 7, students at four-year colleges may be able to get credit for a required class by taking that class at a nearby community college. You could be in your four-year program, but hey, because of your schedule, money, you could conceivably then part-time cherry pick this a la carte some community college courses at the nearby community college. Make sure, though, those credits will count. Number 8, high school summers can be a good time to take community college classes. You might check that out for this summer. Verified credits will transfer first. To make this work, you really got to know you're going to go to a local four-year college, before you ever even come close to graduating from high school. And then you just make sure that four-year college will take these summer credits at a local community college while you're still in high school. Number 9, community colleges may have costs based on your address or require you to live in the county or state. So it might be cheaper if you're local to go to the local community college. If you go to a faraway community college in Oregon or something, you might be paying more than families whose children live in Oregon, and there's families who pay Oregon state taxes. Number 10, students are required to fill out a FAFSA for financial aid, just like if you're going to a four-year college. Now, this one's big, helpful hints. If you're going to a two-year college, don't wait till the fall after you graduate from high school. No, go right away. Why? The summer slide. A lot of kids say they're going to college. They're talking a good game at high school graduation. After 3 months, boom, plans change. Start right away. And why? The sooner you start, the sooner you finish, the sooner you start making a lot more dough. On average, over a lifetime, those with two-year associate's degree earn $500,000 more over those with a high school degree. Don't wait. Start making the bigger dough. I mean, with a high school degree in lots of parts of this country, you can make 11, 12, 13 bucks an hour. Not a lot of benefits. Two-year degree, like 18, 19. I mean, it's a significant difference. Work hard on academics, especially if you plan to transfer. You gotta go after a two-year degree with tenacity. Okay, you're not going to typically have as much adult support at the two-year college as you do in high school. So we got to go after it. Sit in the front row, attack, take good notes, go to office hours. There are often excellent teachers at two-year colleges. Number 3, tutoring is available. Senior advisors, stay on track, not just to make sure your credits will transfer to the local four-year college, or to make sure you'll graduate on time and then go be a welder, a diesel mechanic, a chef, and get your culinary arts degree, physical therapist, all that happy stuff, just to make sure that you're doing the right, you're making the right choices. So don't be on an island. Find mentors, and one would be your advisor. After each class, every day, after classes are done every day, stay on campus if you can. Use study groups, tutoring services, activities, mentors, and networking. Most two-year college students, not all, but most live off campus. You don't have to immediately leave the area. Stay there. Create a network for yourself. Forge relationships, not with adults, but just with students as well. It doesn't have to be a part-time job experience for you. Stay there every day. Consider taking another ACT or SAT before transferring. Some four-year colleges will give merit scholarships to transfers, and they might judge you in part based on a ACT or SAT score you get in the second year of your community college experience. And community colleges can save your money typically. Remember, your average tuition at community college is about 50%, one half of your average annual tuition at a four-year public university. To graduate on time, so graduate on time, take 15 credits per semester, maybe, and go 4 quarters. Get done in less than 2 years. Don't just go 3 quarters, go 4 quarters. A lot of summer community colleges are based on the quarter system. That's why you can start in this summer. More helpful hints. If you're transferring, keep in contact with the four-year college admissions office. You've already targeted the school you want to go to, the four-year. Keep in touch. You're considered a prospective student. Contact the advising departments, housing, academic, etc. at the four-year college to smooth your transfer. We got no surprises when we get to the four-year college. We don't want to learn then that 43% of our credits won't apply to the degree. So rather than being a third-year student at the four-year, we're now at a second-year student. We got to basically take us 5 years at least. Not good. Community colleges work with industry to create seamless degree-to-work experiences. The American Association of Community Colleges, the AACC, Pathways Project is one example. Check it out. 30 institutions in 17 states already are involved in making a seamless transition from the two-year college, boom, right into the workforce with much better paying jobs than typically are available to those who merely have high school diplomas. And that AACC Community College Finder features Finder program features a map of community colleges by state and can be searched by location, keyword, type of city, institution type. Be sure you look at their 2-year and 3-year graduation rate. Be sure you go in with your eyes wide open, because when your average 3-year graduation rate at a 2-year community college is 22%, and that means some schools it's even lower, some it's higher. You got to know what you're in for, and you want to make sure you know before you ever step foot on that campus what it's going to take for you to graduate on time. And it's probably going to take being a full-time student. Once you go part-time, maybe 1/4 you go part-time, but if you're part-time and 2/3 of community college kids are part-time students, it's much less likely you can graduate on time. Now, these community colleges are catering to your schedules. You can get, again, a 2-year degree by going year-round 2 full days a week for some of these programs. I mean, great programs, 2 full days a week. I mean, so you can make this work and be full-time according to the community college, but still have plenty of days to go work if that's what you really want to do on the side. Now, you can find some rankings for 700 of the nearly 1,000 community colleges in this country. Wallet Hub rankings, they analyze 17 indicators in 3 categories: cost, educational outcomes, career outcomes. Remember, check the graduation rates, 2-year, 3-year, 4-year. You want to be a 2-year grad. Do it on time, in 2 years. And then the top scorers according to these rankings are these: Arkansas State University, there's one in New York, there's one in Missouri, there's one in Minnesota. Check out the rankings. If you're mobile, if you want to travel, if you want to go to a community college beyond your local area, you might definitely check these rankings, but do so also to check the ones locally. I mean, in Nebraska, we've got fabulous community colleges, but still, it's worth checking the rankings. What are their strengths? What areas are they not particularly strong in? Where are you going to go into? What connections do they have with local companies? What kind of internships can they place you in? So, big 3. Take the ACT or SAT or your community college's placement test until you place out of remedial classes. No remedial classes. No remedial classes. Unless, you're a late bloomer and you just can't get the strong enough math foundation, you got to do a remedial class. Okay, some remedial classes are absolutely necessary. You go in there, you sit in the front row, you're tenacious. But a lot of remedial classes are avoidable if you just have the right approach, K-12, especially 9-12. Number 2, start in the summer quarter right after graduation, before poor habits set in, including amnesia. Number 3, graduate within 2 years. If you plan on going to a 4-year, so you can do your first 2 at a 2-year, then go to a 4-year. And 80% of 2-year community college kids are planning to go a 4-year, but so few make it happen. Here are the numbers. If you graduate on time within 2 years, you got a 72% likelihood of getting done on the 4-year. But if you don't graduate within 2 years, it's about 14% likelihood of getting the 4-year degree. Okay? Multiple studies. There's variance in some of these results, but I gave you kind of the extremes of the studies I've seen. Bottom line, get done on time. This 2+2 plan is fabulous. It can be fabulous. But join the very small minority and get done on time with your 2-year degree. This is Ask John Anything. We bring it to you every month. Adam, our erstwhile producer, no questions. Ask John Anything is becoming a misnomer. People are not asking questions. So, we love community colleges because they serve our mission. We help schools and families create 2- and 4-year college graduates with minimal debt. But here's the caveat. I don't just think this, I know it, I've seen it. Way too many students assume they cannot afford a 4-year college. They absolutely can, but they got to be, typically, they have to find the value colleges and they have to attack the college admissions process. We say apply to at least 7 schools. If you want to check out our college counseling system, it's not just for college counselors, it's for families. Make sure you know where the deals are. That in Ogden, Utah, at Weber State, if you get a 21 on your ACT, you can go for the cost of a community college. That's one example. So check out our college counseling system. Everything you need to know to get into the right college at the right price so you graduate with minimal debt. And that might involve a 2-year degree. But if you're going to go into a trade, welding, diesel mechanic, culinary arts, physical therapy, a trade, there's no substitute to those 2 fabulous years of training that most community colleges will provide you across this country at an affordable price. See you next month, and be sure to be on to college.